Audrey. Um, okay. Yeah, we are being recorded. Thank you again, Audrey, for playing that for us. Today really is a very special, touching day. We had a very good turnout of our citizens at the Veterans Day Parade. I marched in it, and I was very honored to be with several groups and a lot of young people who I was very impressed with. I didn't realize that City College of New York, CCNY, has just agreed to start an ROTC program. There are two colleges in New York, two universities, Fordham and St. John's, which have an ROTC program. And it's advantageous for students who find it difficult in funding their education because it helps them a great deal in providing for the tuition, room and board that's necessary to go to school today. I have to, just as an aside, I have to wonder whether it's even worth it. Some of these schools are charging upwards of $80,000 a year. That's kind of like, it's mind-boggling. Anyway, we're very honored tonight to have with us, first of all, thank you for being here. And we're very honored to have with us Judge George McKinnis, who is the governor for our district, Rotary District 7230. And I was just looking at his bio, and I would have to take it 15 minutes of our time to go through it. I mean, it really has accomplished quite a lot. Born and raised in Oklahoma, graduated from the university there, officer in United States Infantry, JD, law degree, University of Michigan. Worked with some really very, very fine corporations, advising them on international commercial contracts, ITT being one of those. Many, many, many years with Rotary, including we just had a board meeting and advised us. He had been president of his club 3 years in a row. And I said, I don't know if I'd wish that on anybody, but quite an unusual person. We're very lucky to have him serving with us. And he will be able to explain more of the things that he's been involved in. He is a judge, now retired. He lives in Westchester County, and he was the village council judge, also in charge of just about all matters, civil, criminal. So he runs the gamut. He's got quite a bit of experience. It's my honor to present to our members tonight, Judge George McKinnis, District Governor for our District 7230. Good evening, Judge. Judge, are you with us?
He's muted, George. You're muted.
Unmute yourself. There we go.
I'm now unmuted, right?
Now you are. Very good.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
very much an honor to be at one of our very oldest clubs. Your club predates districts, zones, and much of what our Rotary International has, including its skyscraper and its giant staff. You predate it all. And so it is very important to our district that your club does well. It's extremely important. You are, I would say, standout club, have a great relationship with the United Nations. And we actually count on you and your club. So let me first introduce our executives who are here with us. Vice Governor and District Secretary, past District Governor Mahbub Ahmed, Deputy Governor and District Governor nominee Lauren Russell. Let me see if we have somebody else here that I don't see. I think that's it. Okay, they are two of the top people in the district. We brought a team here because we wanted you to see that the way we're running the district is not top heavy at all. It's actually bottom heavy with people who are extremely important to the district, who have the responsibilities and the respect of your district governor. And I am really pleased to be working with them. Now, I don't have to give you a lesson on the history of Rotary International because I think your club of all our clubs is more aware of that than others. And I don't need to discuss our bragging rights as to how big we are and how many clubs we have and so on. I will discuss how the organization of Rotary International has started off with just a handful of people and become a small skyscraper in Evanston, Illinois, packed with people who are paid with benefits, who work for the district, the president of Rotary International and the board, and the foundation, which has a good sized staff. The board of Rotary International is 17 people who are picked out of clubs all around the world. And they only work as district, directors for a couple of years, and then they're ripped out and the new people come in. The president of Rotary International has changed every year, and they come from all over the world, from everywhere. The current president, Mr. Mehta, is from India, and he has a distinguished career in a country where their Rotary clubs are 400 or 500 people in their big cities, one club. We're organized into zones and districts. The zone is created solely by Rotary International. The zone is funded solely by Rotary International. It has a staff. It has people who have expenses. It gives training sessions frequently. One of its principal functions is training up future district governors. And it has a staff. It's all in Canada. It has a number of districts which it's responsible for, with hundreds, literally, of Rotary clubs. The district was solely created by Rotary International as the spokesperson of Rotary International to a number of clubs that are supposed to be in the same area of the management of the district. And that works out because the district provides the management, the clubs within the district provide the management. And the district governor is elected from a club in your district. The district is informed by Rotary International of what the president and board of Rotary International want the district's clubs to do. So an important part of the district's tasks is to pass on to the clubs in the district what the president and board of Rotary International think the clubs should be doing. This changes every Rotary year with the new president of Rotary International. Now, the way Rotary is organized is that each club in the world is fairly independent. And when I or any future district governor suggests to you what Rotary International wants you to do, our job is to convince you that you want to do it. It is not mandatory. There are only two things that are mandatory on your club and all other clubs. One is the bylaws of Rotary International. The bylaws of Rotary International are not a traditional corporate bylaw. It's the playbook for how zones, districts, and clubs are organized and how they behave. So it goes way beyond a corporate bylaw, and it's about that thick. It's huge. Okay, clubs and their officers should be aware of it. It's on the Rotary International site, and you can actually download it. If you print it, make sure you have lots of paper. Then we have, which is mandatory on all clubs in the district, the MAP, the Manual of Administrative Procedure. We have changed it from time to time, and even in creating it, we had to put it to a vote of the clubs. And when it was created, and each time it's changed, it's been changed a number of times, quite materially, since I've been around. It is subject to approval by a 3/4 majority of the voting representatives of each club that attend the annual general meeting of the district. And the voting is not just one club, one vote. You get one vote for every 25 members. So the larger clubs have more voting power than the tiny clubs in this matter. How did that come about? That's in the bylaws of Rotary International, and it's mandatory on us, on the district. I understand you're revising your own bylaws now. And what I recommend your bylaws committee do is take a good look at the MAP, Manual Administrative Procedure, and look at the bylaws of Rotary International and make sure you're not triggering a default against any of those documents. Rotary International publishes its own recommended bylaws, but it is a fairly short document and it is fairly corporate in its intent. Unlike the Manual of Administrative Procedure that deals a lot with how we go about doing business as our clubs and as a district, then how you conform to the Business Corporation Law of New York State. Now, the district is normally informed by Rotary International, as I've said, of what the president and board want the district's clubs to do. And we are going to pass on some of this tonight. We have a complete reorganization of the district staff this year. It was started a while back when Mahbub was the district governor-elect, and he brought in the next two district governors, Mary, last year's district governor, and myself, and we met frequently to think through what he wanted to accomplish in his year. And we agreed when we finished that task that we would keep doing it and make it a tradition in the district. The purpose of this tradition is that the future district governors, there's always two in advance, will agree and have some of their skin in what the current district governor is doing with the district, with the thought that they will perpetuate what is being done, rather than our past, where the district governor didn't particularly pay attention to future district governors, other than to provide some training. And when each district governor came into effect, they would do what they pleased, which means they could change serious policy decisions made by the past district governor, which we find unwelcome news to our clubs because it's confusing. You're not on terra firma. The district staff has been seriously changed to allow people who are at the peak of their careers to consider becoming a district governor. In the past, we had a lot of trouble getting people to run for district governor. A lot of people didn't want to do it because they found they were too busy and had too much responsibility. In the past, the district governor had every staff, every committee chair, every function reporting to him or her. So the district governor is required to micromanage a whole lot of things. And that made it possible to have frequent elections, including mine, where only one person ran for office. So now what we have is we've installed a new level of management. It's something that isn't done in other clubs yet, but I think it will be someday. We created even a title called Deputy Governor. We have 3 deputy governors right now, and the 3 have every function in the district reporting to them. And they are given each 1/3 of those functions, which they will micromanage. But no one has more than approximately 1/3 of the responsibilities of the district. And they report to the district governor, who sets policy and stays on top of what they're doing. Therefore, we're now organized so that any member of your club who's an experienced Rotarian, and you have many distinguished and experienced Rotarians in your club, could consider running for office under this organization and not having to handle a whole bunch of things that right now the deputy governors are handling for you. And in terms of our succession policy, we will continue to meet the current district governor, the past immediate past district governor, and the next 2 district governors. And I don't know whether it will be considered a tradition. I've given each member of what we call the district governor string a 1-vote veto on anything I want to do, because I don't want to do anything that's a change to the district or to what we expect our clubs to be doing that isn't continued. That's too confusing. Normally we change each year, and I don't think that works. I think it's not been good for the district. Now, we have our vice governor here, Mahbub, who's a past district governor. He also has 1/3 of the district's functions as a deputy governor. He's also the executive secretary. And he also keeps track of what I'm doing, which I found very helpful. Mahbub, could you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, including some of your functions that might be helpful to this club?
Sure thing. Thank you, George. And thank you for having me at the premier club of the district, the 5th Rotary Club of Rotary International. George has given me a number of hats to wear, and I try to wear them well. One of them is to ensure that the district's public image is up to date, is current, and reflects what the district is doing. In order for that to happen, it's important that we understand and we get information from the clubs as to what the clubs are doing, because most of the Rotary activities and projects happen at the club level, and it is the club activities which need to get focused, and it is the club's activities which are basically Rotary's activities. So it's important for the clubs to tell their story. Unless the club stories are told, Rotary International's and the districts and the zone stories are not told. So we encourage clubs to tell their story, and the district has assembled a team of public image professionals and experts to help clubs with promoting their stories onto a larger audience, not only within the district, but to the zone and to the Rotary International level. The second hat I'm wearing is to help clubs to overcome the challenge of hybrid meetings, which many clubs have found to be a real challenge, in that it is important to provide a seamless experience to both groups, the in-person group and the online group. And for that, it's important to take into consideration a couple of things that happen at your meetings. For example, if you have a meal at a meeting, to reconfigure the meal event either to the beginning of your meeting or to the end, so that the Zoom component people do not have to sit around and watch while the rest of the club is having their meal. So, these are some of the smaller things that one club needs to consider when reorganizing themselves for hybrid meetings. So the district has a team of specialists which will work with clubs to provide a seamless meeting experience for both groups. If you need any pointers and assistance on those scores, we are here to help. The third hat, which George briefly mentioned, is that of District Executive Secretary. And by that, I am the custodian of the district records, and I am responsible for organizing the district's meetings and to keep track of the decisions that are taken at the district board and at the district level. George?
Thank you very much. We have here the next, we have two future district governors. And J. Lauren Russell, who's with us today, is what we call district governor nominee. He'll be district governor in 2 more Rotary years. He's a deputy governor responsible for the area assistant governors. Could you tell us how you're doing this and how it can be useful to this club? And let us know a little bit about the deputy governor for this club.
Okay, not a problem. And thank you, George. I appreciate the introduction. And it's nice to be with you for the very first time, me being with the New York Metro Rotary Club. And I've already learned a great deal. You're the 5th Rotary Club in Rotary International, period. That's amazing. So I'm out of the Yonkers Rotary Club, and they've been around for 100 years, 101 this year, which is a nice tribute, but we pale in comparison. So that's a wonderful thing. My role as the deputy governor is to work with the area governors, help them to do what they do better, if that's possible. And by that, I mean that I try to find a way to say yes to their requests to access all of the resources available from the district and from Rotary International. And I say my job is to help us find a way to say yes, because if I can say yes to them, in actuality, they're saying yes to you. And so in order to do that, if we're successful at it, then that means that we're really giving service above selves, not just locally, but nationally and internationally as well. And I know that you do a great job to begin with. So to help you to do that better is just a godsend. So that's what I do. The district governors that I work with, the area governors that I work with are all just phenomenal individuals with a great deal of commitment and dedication, as well as a determination to do outstanding work and work service above themselves. So I'm humbled to be able to work with them and then to be in George's cabinet, because as the district governor nominee, I am sort of learning about the district, and to be with George with his knowledge and Mahbub with his experiences, I couldn't be in a better place. But he did put me to work. He did give me this assignment.
Yeah, right.
It puts me to work, more than I had anticipated, that's for sure. But I'm learning so much, and it's really a pleasure getting to meet you. I look forward to meeting you more on a more regular basis. And if there's anything I can do, please feel free. And also, Helen, I know Helen's and I have had many chats together, so it's good to see her. And I'm looking forward to meeting you all in a more intimate way. And your district governor, area governor, is Wayne Charles II. Great young man. I'm surprised he's not here. Great young man. I'm enjoying getting to know him and helping him to do what he does better. And so he's building the Harlem Club as well through his efforts. That's where he comes from. And it's a great pleasure to work with him, to work with you. George?
Yeah, he sent both of us an email recently that said he had a major conflict and he couldn't attend. So he's excused. Now, we have people in your club that are committed to a new function. And that new function, I consider one of the most important one we can yield. Helen Reisler is the chair of this committee. And Larry Cohen's one of the distinguished members of it. Helen, could you tell us a little bit about what your committee is doing? You're
Helen, you're
muted.
muted.
You're muted.
One of the club presidents in our district sent me an email telling me that he was a little confused and would I please clarify exactly what we're doing. And I got something together that I think does clarify it. So I'm going to share that with you. The Council of Nonprofits encourages all nonprofits to craft an appropriate formal statement of values, and District Governor George McKinnis has filled that gap in our district by creating the Ethics and Dispute Resolution Committee. The committee has two parts. The ethics statement is a statement of our values in District 7230. We are expressing our commitment to ethical behavior by articulating our core beliefs. It is useful to have these principles guide our decision-making and activities, as well as the interaction between our members, volunteers, board members, and partners, and to earn the trust of prospective members, project partners, and donors. The second part, dispute resolution, which we're working on now, will have specific procedures for alleviating various types of disputes within our district in a safe and private environment. The fellowship that drives our successful projects is based on maintaining harmony and goodwill in our clubs and district. We count on each club to solve any issues within their own club that could disrupt that harmony. The Ethics and Dispute Resolution Committee was created to offer suggestions and guidance discreetly to those who have exhausted every other resource within their club to resolve the problem. There will be a private link to be used by anyone with issues. And as I mentioned, the main thing is guidance, very privately and discreetly. So that's what we're working on. We have already sent out the ethics statement for approval by each club. Please send in your feedback. And we're involved now with the procedures for dispute resolutions. And we will consider all kinds of feedback from the clubs because we're all in this together.
Great, thank you, Helen. And any feedback you may have should go directly to the chair of the committee, Helen. When we created this committee, we know it's rather a sensitive topic, and we made it not governable, and it does not report to the district governor because we didn't want a strong-willed district governor interfering with the discrete process of helping resolve or mediate disputes. So Helen, in the function of trying to ameliorate and mediate disputes through her committee, doesn't report for that function to the district governor, only to the board of directors.
Of the district.
Of the district, yes. Now, the president of Rotary International and the board have a new request of all of us to make a commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they feel very strongly about it. And indeed, they have published on the Rotary International site a statement of what they mean by diversity. It's rather striking. Let me read it to you. This is a quote, a direct quote. Rotary International values diversity and celebrates people of all backgrounds across age, ethnicity, race, color, disability, learning style, religion, faith, socioeconomic status, culture, marital status, languages, sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity, as well as differences in ideas, thoughts, values, and beliefs. The only thing they missed there, I think, was visitors from outer space, aliens. However, what they're getting at is not just a very broad definition like I read you. It's the theory that the principal commitment that makes Rotary and all its activities worthwhile, the very essence of what we are and what we do, is to commit ourselves to projects that benefit needy humanity. That could be local projects, that could be international projects, and indeed, we have more capability of doing large and very important projects than any other organization because we have the $1 billion in the Rotary Foundation kicking off earnings that are distributed to the clubs to fund their projects. The corollary to this is that we enjoy the company and friendships among members, all of which are dedicated to finding and carrying out ways to benefit needy humanity in the club's community and outside its community, including international. That's it. We're not a social club. We are a club that does good for humanity. And we associate and enjoy friendships with people that feel the same way. So when you look at it that way, you'll see why Rotary International thinks that all of us should welcome people in different walks of life, so to speak, in our club's target membership area, rather than be what was traditional for many years in Rotary, is a socio-economic and management elite. Both my grandparents, maternal and paternal, were Rotarians. One in Texas, the other in Oklahoma. I was born and partially raised in Oklahoma. And the membership there was the owner of every major business in the community and the community's area. And if anybody who met the diversity definition of Rotary International walked in and said, I want to become a member, they'd have been shown the door. That was traditional for many, many years. It no longer is traditional or even wanted at the Rotary International area. So that's what they mean by commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, your district provides a lot of services to the clubs, and many of them are new. We provide training and setting up hybrid meetings that are both face-to-face and Zoom. We even have a budget to help clubs buy the equipment. Vice Governor Mahboub has that responsibility. We provide aid in setting up a quality and attractive internet site, and we have a sophisticated district staff of people who have skill in doing just that. Vice Governor Mahboub has a responsibility for this. We provide aid in publicizing our clubs and their projects. This is something that neither we at the district level nor our clubs in the past have made much hay out of, so to speak. We have not been able to provide the quality of publicity our clubs and their projects deserve. We now have a staff of people with experience in publicity, and any interesting project your club has, we will publish it. We'll get it published in multiple ways. We'll distribute it, information about it. We'll help you do that. Providing aid in finding ways to raise funds for your projects, which is far more difficult today due to the COVID pandemic. Rotary International has trained a number of our people on the district staff in unique ways to raise funds during COVID. Providing aiding, expanding membership. Our district governor-elect, Marty Schulman, is chair of this committee and was chair last year. Last year, we got an award from the zone as the best district in bringing in new members for the year, and received a separate award for the zone in setting up more new clubs for the year. And we're trying to do the same thing this year. Providing aid in finding new international projects and providing centralized aid in promoting projects that require multiple clubs to execute the projects. And this new committee has already committed one that is now successfully completed to provide clean water filtration for very primitive areas of Kenya. And we had, I think, 9 clubs that participated in it. So we now have a new function that you just heard about from the chairperson that will provide dispute resolution functions. And the reason we started off with an ethics statement, and I might add the ethics statement subsumes or incorporates by reference the 4-way test as well as Rotary International's bylaws, which have a separate statement of Rotary ethics. This is just a high-level list of things that we can do to help your club and all other clubs. And you engage in obtaining that aid through your area assistant governor. That's the assistant governor's job, is to go find the right persons and make sure they're doing the right thing by your club. So that's it for our presentation. Mahbub, do you have anything you want to add?
Not really.
Okay. And by the way, Matt's Ingham here has a function with the district as well. He's responsible for setting up regular monthly meetings between the district governor and his staff and the past district governors who are in a council. We've never done this before. And I thank you, Mats, for getting this organized, because it is fairly unique. And I think it's necessary that we get the benefit of all the senior people who have been district governors when we make our own decisions during my year and any future district governor's year. So I thank you very much for hearing us out. If anybody has any question they wish to address to anybody here who's spoken, just address it to that person.
Hey, good evening. So my name is Adrian Monax. I'm new here. It's my first call. I just want to say thank you for having me. It was a great presentation. I'm looking forward to having an impact, contributing. You know, maybe you can give me a few pointers. What can I do to really hit the ground running with the organization from someone as experienced as you in Rotary?
Well, what you do is you volunteer with any project that your club is presently entertaining or engaged in, and work hard with that committee, and that will lead to other appointments, guaranteed.
Okay, I think I can remember that. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to mention in our chat room, greetings from Farooq Kanatar from the Rotary Club of Adana, Turkey, and from Padam Lal Mahajan from the Rotary Club of Patan, Lalitpur, Kathmandu, Nepal.
Namaste.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brothers, for being with us here tonight. Does anyone, Wilfred Wilkinson, past RI president, always glad to see you, sir. You're regular at all of our meetings. We're very proud of you as well. Does anyone
Thank
have a
you for
question?
the meeting. Can
Absolutely.
I just have not a question, just I'm, as you said, Padamlal Mahajan from Lalitpur, Kathmandu, Rotary Club of Patan. I'm currently in Boston. I've been attending these meetings normally when I'm here. Thank you, Andreas. My question to George is that we have a Rotary Club which is not very old, since started only in 1985. But he mentioned that not many people are interested to be a DG. But in Nepal, we have lots of competition who will compete and make a candidate for the DGs. So there are sometimes a lot of difficulty to do that one. And just wondering why it is not so in here. And also, he didn't speak much about, I didn't see a lot of women Rotarians here in this place. Maybe I have not come across. In our club, we have 7 Rotary ladies members, the spouses also. So it's makes more interesting. Also, as far as the fellowship is concerned, we have half an hour, 5:30 to 6 o'clock fellowship, tea or high tea, then 6 to 7 meeting normally. But apart from that, we are having lots of fellowships like ex-president's party, birthday party every 3 months, and also that kind of fellowship, because they say Rotary is a fellowship, and also we have service project also. I'm just
Excellent.
wondering why it is not so in here. Thank you, Mr.
Well,
Judge.
the issue of the past in our district, rendering it very difficult to get people to run for district governor, is that if you're working in and about New York City, you are in a very competitive environment, the most competitive in the United States, far more so than, for instance, Chicago. The people in Rotary International kind of don't know how to figure us out because we function differently than people do in Chicago, throughout the Midwest, even and certainly in the far West. The businesses in New York do not encourage people to go to a luncheon meeting that lasts an hour and a half instead of being at the office. They do not encourage, in particular, their younger people that they're training up and working like the Dickens to make any kind of a time commitment. And in that kind of hardworking economy, for so long as the district governor has to micromanage every feature and function of the district, the very people who should be doing it are not going to. That's why we have reorganized the management of the district to provide another layer of senior management and to relieve the district governor of micromanaging every little matter that comes before the district. And therefore, I believe that for the future, we will have more enthusiasm for people to become district governor as exists in your country. By the way, I've spent some time in your country and find it fascinating.
Oh, thank you. When was it?
3 years ago.
Oh, sorry we missed you. You could have joined one of the club meeting also.
I would have been delighted to do so.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, are there any other questions, comments from anyone? Unmute yourself, please, before you do.
Yes, Gerard, Tom McKinnis is here. Can you hear me?
Yes, you've moved. I can barely see you, though.
I'm in my car again.
That's why.
I'll put the light on. Does that help?
There you are, yes.
Okay.
Yes, George, great to see you, Judge. You know,
Good to see you, sir.
It's been a while. Yeah, you know, and you said so many very, very good things about Rotary and about our club, Premier Club. You called us the Premier Club of our district, yes, and I really appreciate that. We have a lot of issues, you know, COVID has been very bad. I just want to ask you though, how is Rotary doing in the world? I mean, we used to have 1.3 million Rotarians in the world before COVID. Do you have any idea what's happening now in the world? And our district, we used to have, you know, 50 clubs in our district. And then also, you're talking about deputy deputy district governors. But how is that different than an assistant governor?
The deputy governor has far more responsibility than an assistant governor. An assistant governor has responsibility for coordinating between maybe a half a dozen clubs and the district. That's each district assistant governor for an area only has responsibility for what we call the area clubs. The
Yes.
district is broken up into areas of
So, like,
clubs. Okay,
For
so
our district, when I was an assistant governor, we had Manhattan and Bronx.
yeah, that's
Riverdale.
it. That's it.
That's it.
Okay. So the deputy governor, we have 3 deputy governors this year. Each deputy governor has approximately 1/3 of everything that the district does. And so when you add up 3 1/3, that equals 100%. And that frees up the district governor to function like a CEO functions in a multinational corporation. I worked for ITT for 15 years in their legal department under Harold Janine, who was quite famous for his management quality. And he had an office of the president, and he had 3 top guns, top people. Each one had 1/3 of the 500 subsidiaries that ITT owned. And the issues that the member of the office of the president with 1/3 of all those subsidiaries couldn't solve himself would perk up to Harold Janine and he would figure it out. That's how we're now organized in the district. And I think it'll provide far more competition to become district governor among far more active people.
How is our district doing in terms of membership?
In terms of
Have any
membership,
Have clubs failed over COVID?
clubs have had a
Or-
terrible time.
Yeah.
We have too many small clubs, particularly in Westchester.
Yeah.
And some of them aren't doing terribly well. And I think a lot of it is due to COVID, but a lot of it is due to once you get to become small, it's hard to get back on top.
Yeah.
Because you no longer have the heft and you're no longer a signal part of your community. If you're a tiny club, we have some clubs that are 6, 8, 10, 12 members. What can you do? What kind of projects?
I always felt if you start going below the 15 member point, that's the end of the club because there's not enough members to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt that same way, but
Yeah,
but thank you for taking over the district governor. You know, I think you're the right person for the right at this time. Very good.
thank you.
We
sir.
have some trouble. We have some problems, George. You know, and we gotta
And we all do.
work on it.
Yeah, we all do.
And
Yeah,
it's really nice seeing you again. Very nice seeing you again.
my pleasure, sir.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Anyone else? Well, if not, then I'd like to thank you again, Judge, for your time. You spent a couple of
Pleasure.
hours with us tonight. We are Rotary Club number 6, not number 5, just to correct the record. We don't like odd numbers. We like to be even.
All right.
But thank you very much for your very your kind words, first of all, but also your insights and the experience that you're bringing to the position, making change. It's really very important, especially with a situation like COVID. We really can't go back to the same old, same old. It's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
Agreed.
So I'm very excited to see the innovation that you're bringing, especially innovation based on past experience, which has always been positive. So if it worked for ITT, why can't it work for everyone else?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time tonight. And thank you for the rest of you who have been here. Stay safe. You will be getting contact from the club within the next week. We're planning some really very exciting things, and
Wonderful.
including an in-person meeting. So we're hoping this will work. So please stay with us.
Will do.
And okay, thank you, Andreas. Anything we want to add to this?
No, not really. I think we covered it all. I just wanted to mention that Adrian, only because he posed a question for George, Adrian is actually one of those rare specimens that is interested to become a member. So hopefully we convinced him tonight. So Adrian, I hope you can join our club. So
Adrian, we'll be knocking on your door in about 12 minutes. So we'll be
All right,
there.
come on in, guys.
I'll bring a crew. Do you have enough? I hope you have enough beer for everybody. All right. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for
Okay.
being with us. Stay safe.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night.
Thank you for everyone. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening. Have a nice